You are tuned in to Bakersfield College Athletics on YouTube as we feature tonight's contest. It's baseball here at Cerritos College Field. As the Renegades are going to be taking on Cerritos College. Last night was game one of the series between Bakersfield and Cerritos was able to take home the win, and they took that home 8-2. They improved their record to 2-4, whereas the Renegades only dropped their second game of the season, sitting at a record of 4-2. So we'll see if the Renegades will get right back on the left side of the column. My name is Robert Chavez. I am sitting next to our producer and director for the day, Gio Generalao. We've got
good evening, everyone.
Got Melly and Jamie up here as well, manning the cameras, and we're going to get started here tonight. As we've got number 38, Jose Perez, the catcher for Cerritos, and he's going to go up against pitcher tonight, Chance Garricky, number 17.
Rob, last night was a challenge for the Renegades as Cerritos came in, with that 1-4 record and looking to get that second win of their season. They were fighting hard last night.
Yeah, as I could tell based off of the replay, it was really just hard for the Renegades to generate any runs. They only picked up 2, and meanwhile, pitching struggles were also a part of last night's contest for the Renegades, as we got a 1-1 pitch here from Garricky. Wind and deliver, and his pitch is up. Brings the count to 2-1. And a chance to catch up with head coach Kurt Townsend before the game as we get the 2-1 pitch driven out into left center, and out there is Jordan Brito. You're going to have to really find the middle part of those gaps to be able to get it by Jordan Brito, the sophomore wearing number 1 out there. He's done a fantastic job defensively, taking away what normally would be hits at the high school level. I'm sure Chance probably took a look at that one and thought that might be off the wall. Nonetheless, 1 out. Garricky's first pitch leads it off with a strike, and batting now for Cerritos is Tyler Peschke. Peschke, the shortstop for Cerritos. The 0-1 pitch from Garricky. Down and out. Ball 1. Evens the count at 1 apiece. We're just getting started here at Cerritos College Field. 1 out. Chance Garricky on the mound. Garricky's pitch is down. It's count to 2-1. Second time tonight that Garricky has started 2-1. Garricky, freshman out of Liberty High, sets, delivers, pitches in for strike number 2. 2-2 count to number 2. The pitch inside. Garricky was trying to paint some of that inside corner there. Now loads up the count, 3-2. Off-speed pitch fouled into the visitor dugout. We're going to have another full count. Good job right there for Garricky. Really been pitching fastball dominant through these first 2 plate appearances so far. Decided to go with the off-speed pitch right there. Peschke just fouls it off, and here's the full count pitch. He hits him right in the helmet. And immediately Garricky was concerned for the batter. It caught him, it seemed like, on the brim of that helmet. Head coach Nate Fernley is going to come out of the dugout to check on his shortstop, make sure everything is okay. So also have a member of the training staff from Bakersfield College out to have a look, make sure he's okay. Looks like Tyler's going to be okay. He's going to decide to stay in the game over there. First, nice round of applause here for the Falcons shortstop. And now we got Brody Cuellar coming up to the plate, hitting in the 3 spot. Runner on. Garricky with the pitch outside. Ball 1. One of the things that, as a pitcher myself, back in my time, usually we put a runner on, they get hit anywhere like in the leg where they're kind of having to shake it off or up in the head. Usually not a threat to steal, but we'll see from Peschke. Gets a moderate lead as we get a 2-0 pitch here, and usually with 2-0, going to kind of be safe with the lead, especially because it's 3 balls in a row here from Garricky. .2-0 pitch down in the dirt. Now we got a 3-0 count. Cuellar, the DH for Cerritos. So far hitting .333 on the season. Has a double and a triple. Only 1 home run for Cerritos so far as a team as we get strike 1 in there. Cuellar taking pretty much the whole way. Now we've got 3-1 count with 1 out. Pitch clock is in effect here at the junior college level. Garricky gets his sign, delivers. Ball going to be right up the middle. Could be a tailor-made double play, and it is. Great play right there by number 15, Santiago Blanco, starting shortstop, is able to take it himself to the bag and fling it over to first, and they get out of the inning with no damage other than to Tyler Peschke's helmet. Glad to see that he's okay. Now we're going to get to the bottom of the first. No runs. Only 1 base runner left for Cerritos, as the Renegades are going to try to come up in the bottom part of the inning and get started here pretty quick. We're going to take a quick timeout here and come right back with the bottom of the first.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
And welcome back to live coverage of Bakersfield College Renegades baseball. So we got the Renegades coming up at the bottom of the first. And leading off is center fielder Jordan Brito, number 1. He has been pretty accustomed to that leadoff spot over the last couple of seasons. the sophomore utility player out of Ridgeview High, although he's been manning that center field position for pretty much the better part of the 2 seasons as we get ball 1 on the outside part of the plate. 1-0. Number 1 on the roster, number 1 in the score sheet, and number 1 in your heart. So we get ball 2 to Brito. Caleb Orr, the pitcher for Cerritos, number 34 out of La Habra High, as his 2-0 pitch is right down the middle of the plate for strike 1. Brito taking pitches usually as a leadoff hitter will. Orr gets his pitch, the delivery, 2-1, inside and up. Brushes Brito off the plate. Little off-speed pitch right there. No harm, no foul, as we've got a 3-1 count. Nobody out. Bottom of the first, no score. Orr delivers. And his pitch is called for his strike, so he's going to have to go pick up his bat. Thought it was going to be ball 4. Loads up the count. Orr's pitch is called ball, is down. So he does get that walk after all. Sometimes the umpires really don't appreciate when the batters flip their bat and they dictate the strike zone by thinking that that's a ball 4, but it's not. So with nobody out, runner on first, we get big Liam O'Reilly stepping to the dish. O'Reilly, an unlikely looking number 2 hitter. He's up there for a reason. He pops it up to the right side. Brito, halfway between first and second, has to retreat. As right fielder, number 11, Wyatt Armand, was able to put that away for out number 1 on first pitch from O'Reilly. Now you get number 25, Landon McDonald, going to be stepping up to the plate. McDonald so far today so far this season only leading the team as we get a runner on the first pitch, and that's Jordan Brito. He's going to steal that without a throw. Fantastic look. Had a great jump and an even better lead. And better yet, it's a 1-0 count to McDonald. Like I was saying before the stolen base, Landon McDonald is only leading the team at hitting .571 so far this year. I mean, that's softball-type numbers right there. And I'm not talking renegade softball. I'm talking slow-pitch softball out at Mason Marin Park. As a strike gets called in the inside corner, McDonald doesn't necessarily agree with that, but nonetheless, he's going to step in there with a 1-1 count. One out.
McDonald had that home run last night.
Yeah, bright spot as he takes strike 2 on the outside part of the plate. May have thought it was a little low, but he's going to have to step in there once again. 1-2 count with 1 out. Brito leads. The delivery, strike 3, swung on and missed on the outside part of the plate. And McDonald's a little frustrated right there. Didn't think 2 of those strikes were actually strikes. And a lot of times the emotion of that can take you right out of the at-bat, and that's what Orr did to McDonald. So pretty impressive right there as we get now Brady Baird stepping up to the plate, the left-handed hitter, number 5, out of Liberty High School. Swings and misses at strike 1. Brady so far hitting .136. Started off really nice in the first couple of games of the season. Has cooled off tremendously since then as he swings and misses at strike number 2. But that does not necessarily mean much to head coach Kurt Townsend as he's got him right there in the cleanup spot. He's got Brito leading off with 2 outs. 0-2 pitch from Orr. It's going to be way outside for ball number 1. Orr gets his sign, looks over at Brito and delivers. He's going to get Brady to roll over on one, and that's going to be touched foul by Orr. So Brady's going to do it once again. On deck, number 26, DH tonight, Jordan Mora. Or the delivery, way outside, fastball, tailed way too far out, brings the count to 1-2. Excuse me, 2-2. We got Deuces Wild up there. Brito off second, pitch outside, loads up the count. So fantastic job there by Baird to be able to work back into this count and fill it up. Steps in, crowding the plate just a little bit in the back part of the box. Again, the Renegades are wearing their black tops, white bottoms. Orr's pitch, way outside, ball 4, and Brady Baird was able to swing and miss at a couple, rolled over on one, and then took 4 straight balls to earn a trip down to first base. And now we've got the designated hitter number 26, Jordan Mora, stepping to the plate. Mora so far one of 2 players hitting over 500. He's hitting 533 so far this year. Swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. Mora also with a home run and a triple so far this year. Leads the team with 8 RBI. Slugging a whopping .867 so far this year. Mora takes ball up, 1-1.
That home run, Rob, was a grand slam against Sequoias last week.
Yeah, I did remember seeing that, and it was a heck of a shot as well, too. He's got a 1-1 pitch with 2 outs. Orr's delivery, off-speed pitch. We call that a sword out here, Gio. Usually when you get an off-speed pitch, some sort of a funky bend to the ball as it's being delivered. Just explain it to everybody out there. When you swing and miss at it, that's called a sword. 2-2. Outside, Mora takes. Excuse me, that was a 1-2 pitch, and now it brings it to Deuces. Check out with the field umpire, and the field umpire says no swing. So Orr, his 2-2 pitch. Inside, and he calls it strike number 3. Looking, the Renegades are going to leave 2 on. No hits, a couple of walks, a stolen base, no errors, and we're going to go to the second inning. No score here at Jerry Collis Field. We'll be back with the second inning right after this break.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Leading off the top of the second here at Jerry Collis Field for Cerritos. is going to be first baseman number 7, C.J. Berthon, or Berthon, however we're going to say it today. Garricky delivers fastball outside, gets a swing and a miss. Start the count 0-1. Baird working pretty quick. Gets back in there and gets some signs from Smith. Pitch, same location, but down. Funky toss back from Smith over to Garricky. 1-1's the count. Berthon struggling so far this year, batting 120, as Garricky delivers strike 2 into Berthon. Berthon out of Los Alamitos High School, very competitive public school down. And we get a swing and a miss on the inside pitch. Fantastic tailing fastball that ran inside under the hands of C.J. Berthon. And we get first strikeout of the game for Garricky. And with one out, we've got number 4, the third baseman, Mateo Heredia. Or if we want to be appropriate, Mateo Heredia. As we get ball 1 on off the plate. 1-0 the count with 1 out. Got to get ready for that halftime show on Sunday. So everybody's going to practice a little bit of Spanish today, Gio. So we get swing and a miss. Brings the count to 1-1. Although the performer, Bad Bunny, he said we don't need to learn Spanish, just need to be able to get up and dance to it. So if you're going to be watching that or anything else, hey, enjoy it. I hope everybody has an enjoyable Super Bowl Sunday as we strike 2 in. I think Heredia was looking for something different because that was a fastball pretty much right down the plate. 1-2 pitch from Garricky. Off-speed pitch sends it into right field. They're going to have Shaw backtracking, and he's not going to be able to get to it. And this could be a possible triple, and I think it is going to be. As a long throw misses the cutoff man, and we get a triple from Heredia, and he has a nice celebration after he slides into third. Well, that was actually Landon McDonald that was out there. Went right over his head. Garricky wishes he had that pitch back because he had Heredia in a pretty favorable count there. Wasn't able to seal the deal on that one, so now we got 1 out. Runner on third for right fielder Wyatt Ormond. Hit right to Santiago Blanco, and he could not come up with that. And safe to say that probably going to be counted as an error. We'll see from our official score down below us. Nonetheless, run scores for Cerritos, so it's 1-0. And now we've got an error, so that will be credited not as a hit, but an error on Santiago Blanco. And now we've got a run attempt faked out there by Ormond. Doesn't go. Ball off the plate is 1-0. The batter here is Hudson Comer, center fielder for Cerritos. Ormond leads, doesn't go. McDonald tracks back on a fly ball hit pretty deep. Moderately deep, I would say, about 300 feet out in the right field. But enough, it hangs up enough for McDonald to secure the second out of the inning. And Garricky's going to get back up on the mound and face number 18, Luke Crowder. Crowder's playing left field today, batting 8th. Crowder leading Cerritos in batting so far in terms of batting average, I should say. He's batting .500, but only has 4 at-bats so far this season with 2 hits. First pitch was 4 ball, 1-0. Garricky takes a quick peek over to first, delivers, and that's going to be strike 1. Evens count at 1 apiece. Now we got ball 2, brings the count to 2-1. Pickoff attempt over to first. Runner safe, 2-1. Still the count with 2 outs. And that pitch is going to hit Crowder. So now you're going to have 2 runners on for the second baseman, number 25 for Cerritos, and that's Andrew Perez. Perez out of Milliken High down in Long Beach. See a lot of what they call South Bay kids going to Cerritos. Garricky's first pitch fouled off into the parking lot. It'll be 0-1. Cerritos football, the reigning state champs. 3C2A. Renegades had a chance to face them this year, and they lost here at Memorial Stadium. That's Garricky's 0-1 pitch outside, ball 1. And a distant cousin of my football partner, Kenny Calvin, was the starting quarterback and was the first-team All-State quarterback as well, too, Jeremiah Calvin. As we got 1-1 with 2 outs. Fouled off back into the parking lot once again. This counts 1-2 with 2 outs. Cerritos up 1-0. They had a triple by Mateo Heredia. He scored on a error by Wyatt Ormond. So we get the 1-2 pitch. Excuse me, swing. Nobody's going to get over there, and Garricky is not going to get in there in time. I tell you, there are probably 4 different things that, Gio, that Bakersfield College baseball players do a lot in the fall. And one of them is what we call PFPs, pitcher fielding practice. In that situation, you've got these crazy, nasty, check swings or bunts that end up in no man's land. And if you noticed it, that was the perfect placed hit, even though it wasn't something that Perez was intending to do. But what it does is it draws everybody off of first base. Nobody's there to cover as we get strike 1 to Jose Perez, the leadoff hitter. And overall, it's just it's a bad situation, but they practice this over and over and over again, and it drives coaches nuts. So you get an off-speed pitch fouled off, 0-2. But it's going to go down as an infield base hit. So we got bases loaded with 2 outs. Catcher Jose Perez up at the dish. 0-2 pitch with 2 outs. Garricky looking to get out of this inning. And he does on strike 3 in the dirt. Smith steps on the plate as that was live. And we're going to get out of here with minimal damage. Only 1 run scored on that off of 2 hits. They leave the bases loaded. We're going to go to the bottom of the second. Renegades down 1-0. We're going to be right back after this break. Bottom of the second, Renegades down 1-0, and leading off the inning for BC is going to be left fielder number 10, Luke Shaw. Shaw comes in tonight batting 190. Got 4 base hits so far this season, one of them a triple. He's knocked in 3. As Orr delivers, comes to the plate. We got a bunt. It's going to be dragged down the first base line, and there's going to be a tag as Shaw tries to attempt to slide underneath first baseman C.J. Berthan. So now Blanco is going to come up to the plate, try to atone for the error that he committed. Not necessarily, too sure whether or not that was going to be fielded and hold the runner on over at third. As we get ball 1 on the outside part of the plate. Heredia had a very moderate lead off of third base, and I think he was just waiting for Blanco to be able to field it, throw, and possibly get over to home. But nonetheless, there was an error on that as Blanco takes strike 1, 1-1. Or quick delivery, off-speed pitch, swung on and missed. The count is 1-2. And the last time I was out here doing a game, Blanco made an error and then came back and atoned for it by knocking in a couple of runs. So we get ball 2 on the inside, brushes Blanco back just a little bit. 2-2 pitch, down in the dirt, loads up the count. And if one thing that the Renegades are doing effectively here is getting Orr's pitch count up, a lot of deep counts so far today. 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed in the dirt. Perez is going to sling it on down to first for out number 2. Well, the Renegades are now going to send up their own catcher, up there number 14, Jason Smith. Smith, the sophomore catcher out of Garces High. Takes ball 1 up, 1-0. Smith so far this year, only 1 hit and 10 at-bats. But that 1 hit drove in a run. Let's get ball 2 outside, 2-0. Still early in the season, so these batting averages might be drastically different by the time the end of the season comes to fruition, as we get ball up and in, and it gets Smith on the hand. So he's going to go down to first base. And that's going to bring up second baseman Nick Martin. Another one of the sophomores. He's manning second base. He's at a Liberty High. So 1 runner on. Orr gets his pitch. Fires, and his pitch is going to be wild. And that's going to allow Smith to get over to second base. Orr taking a look over at Smith. Shortstop vacates, but Orr doesn't like how that looks, so he gets off the rubber, and he's going to try it once again. Martin steps in, slightly crowding the plate. Orr delivers. Pitch down in the dirt. 2-0. I'm going to tell you, one of the things that Coach Townsend's probably going to tell a lot of his team is be a little bit more patient up there, or a little trouble with his command so far early in the game. It's got a lot of deep counts. 2-0 pitch with 2 outs. And Martin takes ball 3. And typically in this situation, Gio, you want to attack the 9-hitter. Usually don't want to see this lineup flipped over once again. Even though you have the base open over there at first base, 3-0 pitch comes and it hits Martin. So second time in a row, and that will tell you right there that a pitcher is really struggling with his command because on 3-0, he really did not need to go that far inside, and he does. No malicious intent right there, as Coach Fernley's going to go out there and have a talk with his pitcher. Gives us an opportunity to talk a little bit what's going on tomorrow in the rack. We've got today is, or at least yesterday was National Women in Sports Day.
Yeah.
But
that was on Wednesday, yeah.
Or Wednesday, excuse me.
But they did hold an event with various elementary schools and middle schools here today, where they did different stations experiencing the different sports we have here at BC
awesome.
for all the girls.
That's awesome. And then I know Jenny Lewis has been a part of that a lot. And then tomorrow's game for the ladies has got a little bit more meaning to it. Is that correct?
Yes, it is the Play for K event. It is supporting the K Yao Foundation, which supports women suffering from various cancers and supporting them and doing cancer research to help find a cure.
So it'll be a good opportunity for everybody to come out and join us at the rack as we get ball one to Jordan Brito. So Oris really had a tough time. That's his fifth ball in a row. Two of them have struck a couple of Renegades as we get finally a strike on the outside part of the plate, 1-1 to Jordan Brito. Brito walked in his first at-bat, stole a base, but was left on second base, and nobody was able to drive him in. Or with 3 strikeouts so far today, we're just in the bottom of the second, 1-0 Cerritos. Brito swings and misses on off speed. So now it's going to bring the count to 1-2. Brito tough out with 2 strikes, batting .366, and Brito takes ball down, and now we've got another Deuces Wild. This is the third time today. I know last time we were out at softball, I was keeping track with our man Julian Wilson. He said it happened about 8 different times. I was trying to get him to say 6, 7, but he wouldn't take the bait. 2-2 pitch, off speed, up. And that loads up the count. And I'm not going to take your money, Gio, and I'll tell you why. For those that are not necessarily always familiar with baseball, you got 3-2 with 2 outs. And if you got a runner on first and second or runner on first, there's always going to be stolen base attempts right here on the pitch. So these runners are going to be going, and they do. Full count in the dirt. And we've got the third straight walk or hit batter right there, and now you've got big Liam O'Reilly coming up to the plate, and I tell you, Orr is struggling right now. Even though he's got a 1-0 lead and it's early in the game, Coach Fernley has got to be getting some guys going at some point, warming up in the bullpen, because even though he's got no runs on the board and no hits so far from the Renegades, he's got some trouble with his command. His first pitch to O'Reilly's driven into left field. This is going to bring in at least one run. Coach Martinez is going to hold Nick Martin at third base, but a good RBI. And I tell you what, Liam O'Reilly was looking for 1 pitch and 1 pitch only on that, and that was anything that was a strike. Anything around the zone, he was going to swing at it because Orr was really having a tough time finding the strike zone. And when that happens, pitchers usually overcorrect, and they give a hittable ball up to a batter. So good job by Liam O'Reilly to knock in a run. And that brings up Landon McDonald, right fielder. And he was thinking the same thing as O'Reilly, swinging first pitch. So Renegades even the score. And like I was saying the last time I was out here on the broadcast for baseball, is that the Renegade motto is to win every 3 innings. So right now they've, in the first stanza of the game, they're tied 1-1. Now we've got an 0-2 count on Landon McDonald. You said McDonald leading the world in hits so far this season with 12. So now we've got a time called by McDonald. Not too sure what the umpire is writing down up there. I know we do have a pitch clock, and that's a little bit new to a lot of old school baseball fans, including myself, but at least if you watched the pro game in Division I, you know that there is that rule. And with that rule comes a lot of other things. And so I think that that's the kind of like the first warning, you would say, as far as delaying the game. So he's got to take note of that. So again, bases loaded. Orr comes to the plate on 0-2. You get a swing and a miss, and Perez is able to step on the plate just like Cerritos did in the top half of the inning. But the Renegades get across the board on a Liam O'Reilly 2-out RBI single. We are even here at Jerry Collins Field. We're going to be heading to the third inning. 1-1 is the score here at Bakersfield College. We're going to take a quick break. Start the top of the third here, and leading off for Cerritos is going to be shortstop number 2, Tyler Peschke. Peschke was hit by a pitch in the first inning and was the victim of the first part of a double play by Santiago Blanco. Peschke batting .292 coming into the game. Garecki's first pitch is fouled off straight back. It's going to probably find its way to Haley Street. As a former relief pitcher here, Gio, I'm very familiar with Haley Street. Had to chase a lot of foul balls out there as we get strike 2 delivered. As you see big 39, Nathan Hockett out of Foothill High going out and fetching that 0-2 pitch down in the dirt. Ball 1. Yeah, logging lots of steps as a pitcher here at Bakersfield College. So we get the 1-2 pitch from Garecki, and it's driven into left field. It's going to be a base hit. So leadoff base hit brings up number 24, Brody Cuellar, the designated hitter for Cerritos. Third hit of the ball game for Cerritos by Peschke. And Cuellar coming into the game, 7 for 21. Cuellar takes first pitch. He grounded in that double play, hard hit ball to Santiago Blanco, who's able to come up with it fresh. Step on second, fling it over to first for the double play to get Garecki out of the inning. It's got an 0-1 pitch from Garecki. Way outside, covered by Smith. 1-1's the count. Renegades, game 2 of a 3-game series here against Cerritos. They'll be playing again tomorrow afternoon at noon. Strike two on the outside part of the play. Had a little bit of movement on that pitch. Come and join us. Don't necessarily think we're going to have a live stream for tomorrow's game because we've got other events happening on campus as we get the 1-2 pitch down in the dirt for ball two, evens the count. But I'll be here for the PA, so we'll do that. Maybe do some Instagram live as well, too, on some scoring plays. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. On 2-2, Peschke leading off first. The delivery popped straight up in the air, and that's what you call a big league fly ball right there. Blanco calls off Baird, and he takes it for out number one. So that'll bring up shortstop C.J. Berthen. Berthen struck out to lead off the second inning. And that's when you really thought Garricky was kind of rolling. Got that double play, came back, got a strikeout to lead off the second. And with 2 strikes, Mateo Heredia drove a 2-2 pitch over the head of McDonald out in right field for the triple, and that set up that error to Santiago, which scored Heredia as we get ball 1 in the dirt, 1-0. Peschke with the leadoff single stands over at first. Looks like the umpire just wants to reset the pitch clock so everybody takes a pause. Berthen gets back in the box. Garricky gets his sign. 1-0 pitch. Driven into foul territory. Looks like this one's probably going to find the bullpen here, and it does. Blanco gave good chase to that. He had to run at least about 100 feet to be able to give that chase over there. Evens count at 1 apiece. Heredia standing on deck for Cerritos. 1-1 pitch from Garricky. Swung on and missed. Strike two. Garricky's mom, Tammy, longtime commissioner that ran Northwest Baseball over by Sam Lim Ballpark. Did a fantastic job over there. She had to navigate quite a few things, including a pandemic. As we get 1-2 pitch, it gets away from Smith. Smith gives a chase back over to his part of the dugout. It's going to be credited as a wild pitch right there for Garricky, as Peschke is now going to be standing over at second base. Evens count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Garricky gets a sign, takes a look over at Peschke. One more look, and now the pitch. Ball 3 in the dirt. And again, you get a little bit of comfortability having first base open. You're able to have a pitcher's pitch right here to Berthen, especially against somebody who struck out in his last at-bat. 3-2 count. Garricky's pitch is going to be driven into center field. Brito's going to have to give it chase, and he's not able to come up with a catch. He hit off his glove, and now we've got the ball goes underneath the padding out there in the field. That's going to be credited as a double, real hard hit ball. Wasn't able to get to it. And that drives in a run, so Cerritos going to take a 2-1 lead as Peschke was able to score from second. And I tell you, because of that wild pitch, that put Peschke in scoring position, and that's why wild pitches really do mean something. Got to be able to have control up there, and Garricky's going to want to be able to have that one back at some point. So 2-1 Cerritos, is now we got Mateo Heredia up there, takes ball 1. Heredia, like we said, last at bat, sent the ball into right field for a triple. First triple of the season for Heredia. He's got a double on the year. 1-0 pitch on the outside part of the plate. 2-0. Again, still early in the ball game, top of the third, 2-1 Cerritos. And in this situation, usually pitchers are thinking, guy just got you for a triple. Don't necessarily want to mess around with him too much, especially with a base open over there at first. Berthen with the lead at first. Now that's going to be a pass ball, as Smith was just not able to squeeze that. And it's not on the pitcher in that situation. So pass ball on Smith. Gets Berthen over to third. 3-0 count to Heredia. And that's going to be strike one. Heredia with the bat pretty much on his shoulder throughout that pitch. 1 out in top of the third. Garricky with a 3-1 count on Heredia. His pitch down to the dirt, ball 4. And Heredia's going to make this a first and third situation. And again, still an opportunity for Garricky to get out of here with minimal damage if he gets a ground ball right here, possible double play. Wyatt Ormonde coming up to the plate. Ormonde not credited for an RBI, but was able to drive in Heredia on a sharp hit ball to Blanco. And now we're going to get a hit batter from Garricky. So bases are now going to be loaded for Hudson Comer. Control issues early on so far for both sides. Or hit a couple of batters, also walked one in the last inning. Was really his own worst enemy. And was the reason why Liam O'Reilly had the opportunity to drive in a 2-out run. And now you're starting to see Garricky struggling a little bit. Still nobody up in the bullpen over there for BC, as we get pitching coach out there to talk to Garricky. Comer flied out to right in his last at-bat. Garricky. Ball low, 1-0. Comer got a little bit of lift in that ball, but McDonald was playing perfectly out there in right field. He is back deep once again. Let's get the 1-0 count. Check swing. No swing. It's going to bring the count to 2-0. Hudson Comer out of El Segundo High School down in El Segundo near the airport. Went to UC Irvine and transferred over to Cerritos. As he takes ball up and in. Now we got a 3-0 count with nowhere to put Hudson Comer. Comer wearing the old school stirrups out there as well, too. Got to love that. On 3-0 with 1 out. Chance Garricky delivers, and that's going to be a strike on the inner part of the plate. Brings the count to 3-1, and now you're starting to see a little bit of activity. Get one of the Renegade pitchers and catchers going to be running down to the bullpen to get warmed up. Garricky's 3-1 pitch is down in the dirt, and he's going to walk a run in. Credit that RBI to Comer. So with 1 out, 3-1 Cerritos. Bases are still going to be loaded. You can have Luke Crowder step into the plate. Crowder was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. Again, one of the things that you don't want to see as a coach is that you're putting runners on towards the bottom part of the lineup. Crowder batting 8th in this lineup. Comer was batting 7th as we get strike one on first pitch from Garricky. Swung on a miss for strike two. So Garricky looks like he's got a little bit more tempo in his delivery right now. Gets right back up there. Only takes him 10 seconds to get back into delivery, and the pitch is going to be driven. Giving chase is O'Reilly. O'Reilly's not going to be able to get there, and Landon McDonald was playing just a little bit too deep to be able to get to that, but a great job by the big man out there trying to get to that foul ball. That's a lot of real estate he covered. Almost made it to the Renegades bullpen. So the Falcons have sent 7 batters to the plate so far in this inning. Still only 1 out. 0-2 pitch now from Garricky. Swung on and missed, and we get strike 3 from Luke Crowder. So a fantastic way to get right back. Now we're going to have Andrew Perez step into the plate. Perez with a single in the first inning. It was a check swing as we get strike 1 from Garricky. It was a check swing, and like we said, it was kind of in that no man's land there. And now ball's going to hit up the middle. Blanco gets to it, flings it over to O'Reilly for out number 3. Fantastic play right there by Blanco. I'll tell you what, Perez really thought he had a base hit right up there, and he nearly did, but Blanco looked like a cat right there, was able to get to that as it bounced over second base. So 8 batters sent to the plate, but only 2 runs scored for Cerritos, as the Renegades are going to have to try to get these bats going and get those 2 runs back if they're going to try to at least tie or win this first stanza of the game. We're going to the bottom of the third here at Jerry Collins Field. 3-1 Cerritos.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Welcome back to live coverage of Renegades baseball right here on YouTube. Rob Chavez alongside Gio Generalao. Renegades down 3-1 against Cerritos. And leading off the third inning for BC is number 5, Brody Baird. Baird walked in his last plate appearance, or still the pitcher for Cerritos. And the first pitch is fouled off back over to Haley Street. One of the things you'll always want to do is look alive. If you're ever driving down Haley Street and you see the lights real bright here at Jerry Collins Field, 0-1 pitch. Bunt shown by Baird. As you've seen, that third baseman was drawn way back, but it was still called a strike. Perfect opportunity for Baird right there if he wanted to be able to get that push bunt over to the third base line as we got an 0-2 pitch. And Baird just slaps it right down the line. That's exactly where he wanted to go. He's going to give a good round. He's going into second, and it looks like he's going to get thrown out. Again, probably not real smart of Baird right there. I don't know if he ran through a stop sign or the first base coach was sending him in that situation, but when you're trailing like that, typically you're not going to be sending somebody who's leading off the inning. And it was good to see at least Brady was able to get a base hit in that situation because he had been struggling since the second game of the season. As we now get Jordan Mora stepping up to the plate. Mora struck out looking in his first at-bat back in the first inning. Takes ball one on the first pitch, and now the second pitch here is down in the dirt. Counts now 2-0. It's a good piece of hitting right there by Baird. He's seen exactly where the third baseman was playing. All he had to do was be able to place the ball right down the line. And you see a lot of that in batting practice, especially hitting off of a tee as a 2-0 pitch. It's fouled off by Moore. Heads up over there, ladies. Coming out of the restroom over there. And again, yeah, you go get those foul balls. You hear the cleats clanking on that blacktop over there. Swing and a miss by Mora. It's going to bring the count to 2-2. And you know why? These baseballs are $8 a piece now, Gio. Not cheap. Swing and a miss down in the dirt. Mora's going to run it out. Perez is just going to throw him out there for the second out. So Mora's got a couple strikeouts so far today. Not really what you want to see out of your DH. Now you've got Luke Shaw coming up to the plate. Shaw attempted a bunt unsuccessfully down to the first baseman in his last at-bat, and now he's going to just poke one right into left field. And see it in that situation right now, if you had Baird at first base, again, you kind of think about it this way as a coach. Now you've got runner on first and second with one out. Looks a lot different than runner on first with two outs.
Oh, what could have been, Rob? Oh, what could have been.
You think about that quite a bit as a manager, as a coach. All those ones that could have come back. Now stepping into the plate is Santiago Blanco, starting shortstop, and he gets hit. Oh, actually, he doesn't get hit. It's just loose. So good job right there. Heads up base running from Shaw. It's going to be credited as a wild pitch. Blanco. Now we've got a balk. So now we've got Shaw that's going to be over at third. So, again, think about it in this situation. If we had Baird staying over at first on that pass ball right there, he'd be at third, and then we would have had a run scored.
Oh, what could have been, Rob? Oh, what could have been.
So 1-0 pitch. Ball in the dirt. Fantastic block there by Perez. And Orr really is keeping the Renegades in this game. If he's able to throw some strikes, on a consistent basis, I'd be doing a little bit better. It wouldn't be as threatened here by the Renegades with a 2-0 count. 2 outs. Shaw on third. The pitch. Santiago rolls over, fouls it off. Let's bring the count to 2-1. Two-one pitch. Blanco swings and misses. Big swing right there. He wanted to tie this ball game up here. So 2-2. Blanco sends it into the gap. This one might have a chance to drop, but it does not. As the left fielder for Cerritos was able to track that down, Luke Crowder to end the threat and end the third. Renegades are going to go into the fourth inning trailing 3-1. We're going to take a quick timeout and come right back with the fourth inning.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
And welcome back to live coverage of Renegades baseball right here on the Bakersfield College YouTube channel. Make sure you go to YouTube, like and subscribe so you can catch all the Renegades action if you're unable to make it here live. Again, all games are free this season, thanks in part to the 70th anniversary of Memorial Stadium, as we get Jose Perez, catcher for Cerritos, leading off, and he's going to drive one into the gap. This one's going to find the fence off the wall. Shaw's able to track it down, and the stand-up double for Jose Perez on the first pitch. Perez struck out in his last at-bat and flied out to center. So now he's 1 for 3, and stepping up to the plate is Tyler Peschke. Peschke, with a base hit in his last at-bat last inning, scored the second run of the game. Perez dancing off of second. First pitch fouled off into the net. Saves a road trip for one of the relief pitchers there for BC. See that men's basketball dropped a tough one, 90-82 against West LA a couple of days ago. 0-1 pitch just outside. Ball one. Softball also dropping a tough one, 9-8 down in Moore Park last night. Get a 1-1 pitch. Pickoff attempt, and it's going to go into center field. Brito is going to come up with it, but not before Perez is able to advance to third. And in that situation, Garricky and Blanco weren't really on the same page. Blanco already broke for the bag, but because Garricky went into a spin move, takes his eye off of the target, still have an opportunity to kind of lay up there and not necessarily throw the baseball, but he did, and he sent it into center field as we get strike two on Peschke. So runner on third, nobody out. 3-1, Cerritos here in the top of the fourth. Pitch going to be sent into right field. Moderate depth here. McDonald's going to have an opportunity to throw him out. Play at the plate, and he is going to toss him out. Fantastic job by Landon McDonald. That is what you like to call a dot. Perez, and I even thought Perez left a little bit early right there. So good double play for Landon McDonald. I'll tell you what, McDonald was going to do something to impact this game. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, even though he's the leading hitter for the Renegades. And that right there is a big-time play. 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch in there for a strike to Brody Cuellar. Cuellar 0 for 2 today. Flied out to shortstop in his last at-bat. Ball 1 on the outside part of the plate. Oh, Brody's going to take one right in the pocket. Yep, did not sound too good. So Garricky sends Cuellar down to first. With 2 outs, you're going to have C.J. Berthon stepping up to the plate. Berthon had a double in the 3rd inning in his last at-bat. Struck out in the 2nd. So he's got an RBI so far today, 1 of 2. Garricky's first pitch, strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. Had a lot of heat on that one.
Rob, I'm curious. Where's the worst part to be hit by a pitch?
Think of a place where you don't have any sort of muscle or fat, and it's going to sting. I mean, obviously, an obvious place is going to be hit like, any sensitive spot, obviously but what you see a lot of guys do at the college level, and this is something that's practice, is they turn away. So when they see a ball coming in, they turn their back to it as it gets strike 2 swung on and missed. 1 and 2 is the count with 2 outs. But these guys actually practice this in batting practice. They see a ball coming inside of them, and we do it with tennis balls sometimes, or sometimes it's from short toss. And you actually do take them. We're only flicking them up there. And you learn how to turn on it as you get a foul ball. And you head it back into the parking lot. Still 1 and 2. So you got to think of those real vulnerable spots down on the ankle. If you're not wearing quarter top cleats, that hurts. Getting hit in the elbow really hurts. The hand, any part of the hand, fingers, anything like that hurts pretty bad. And that sometimes will happen as we get ball 2 in the dirt, bringing the count even. Deuce is wild up on the scoreboard. But sometimes you get to where the ball kind of runs in on you, you don't have a chance to turn, and it comes in on the hands and hits you on the fingers on the bat, so it kind of creates that sandwich effect. Good lead over there at first. No steal attempt. Ball's going to be hit right into that Tony Gwynn 5.5 hole right there, just past Blanco. Shaw is able to come up with it and fling it into Baird. So now you got 2 runners on with 2 outs. And stepping to the plate is going to be Mateo Heredia. Triple and a walk so far today. Garricky's first pitch, taken inside for ball 1. And again, Heredia batting 5th in this lineup. Coming in today, hitting 200. Garricky looks over at second and then delivers a ball. It'll be 2-0. And again, you can still see where Garricky's got that triple still in the back of his mind. Haven't really given Heredia some competitive pitches since then. And we got strike 1. Able to challenge him on that. Kind of think Heredia was looking for one pitch down where he wanted it, didn't get it. To the benefit of Garricky, he's on a 2-1 pitch here, swung on and fouled off. Again, Deuce is wild. This has got to be number 5 now. Garricky gets a sign, looks over at second. The pitch, fouled back into the screen. That was off the end of the bat. Skarke took a little bit off that pitch. So it remains 2-2 with 2 outs, 2 runners on. Renegades down 2 here in the top of the 4th. 72nd pitch of the game here for Garricky. Looks, fires. Ball 3 on the outside part of the plate. So Cerritos' base runners are going to get a head start on this pitch here. Standing on deck, right fielder Wyatt Ormondi. Garricky gets a sign, delivers. Runners go. Ball line drive, snagged by Santiago Blanco for the 3rd out of the inning. So you get no runs, 2 hits, 2 men left on. And the Renegades are going to try to even some things up, if not at least cut into this 2-run lead here in the bottom of the 4th. Cerritos up 3-1 on the Renegades. We're going to take a quick timeout and come back in the bottom half.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Back here in the bottom of the 4th. And I just want to make mention, tomorrow for the women's basketball game, it's the Play for K event. On the screen now, if I could get it, on the screen now is the QR code to donate to the KL Foundation. All proceeds go to the KL Foundation in support of women's cancers. Show that you donated tomorrow at tomorrow's game, and you get free swag. I believe pom-poms will be giving away pink pom-poms, and for certain tiers that donated in higher amounts, will get a free t-shirt while supplies last.
Thanks, Gio, and make sure you scan that QR code. Good, very good benefit tomorrow for the KL Foundation to benefit some cancer research, as we got 2-1 pitch to catcher Jason Smith. And it's going to be pounded into center field, on a 2-1 count. And we're going to get the catcher over to first and bring up Nick Martin to the plate, second baseman. Martin got hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. Smith doing a good job of getting on. No matter what he's got to do, whether he's got to get hit by a pitch or hit the pitch right up the middle. Pickoff attempt by Orr. That looked like a little bit more out of frustration. Smith, not necessarily a threat to steal here. Down 3-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Got Martin up at the dish. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. Third baseman Heredia playing on the grass, just in case Martin's going to try to drop a bunt here. 0-1 count to Martin. Swung on, driven into left center field. giving chase out there is Crowder, and he's able to come up with it for out number 1. And now you got Jordan Brito coming up. Brito walked a couple of times so far today. He's been stranded at second base 2 different times. Got a stolen base. Brito takes ball 1 way inside. So you can either turn on the pitch or you can just back out just like you've seen Jordan want to do it. Sometimes you'll hear guys chirping out of the dugout, wear it, meaning wear that pitch right in the back pocket. Easier said than done. 1-0 pitch to Brito, taken high, ball 2. Like you said, even though where's the least desired place to get hit by a pitch, there's really no place to get desired to get hit by a pitch. But, yeah, because they hurt, especially when they're over 80 miles an hour as ball gets loose from Perez. No runner from Smith as he got 3-0. Smart base running right there for the catcher. So Brito with 3-0 has an opportunity to get on base for the 3rd time today. We'll see if he's going to be taken on this pitch or if he's got the green light. 3-0 pitch. Outside, ball 4. Brito is just getting a free pass all day. It's kind of like a high school student that gets a free bus pass just by having their student ID. Now you got big Liam O'Reilly stepping up to the plate. And Liam did nothing but just drive the first pitch that he's seen in the 2nd inning into left field for the only run of the game so far for the Renegades. So big Liam looking to try to strike again here. First pitch inside, strike 1. O'Reilly came into the game, 263, had 5 hits, make that 6 now. Now, ball gets away from Perez, and both runners are going to advance 90 feet closer. But it still was a strike. So now O'Reilly is going to have to be tough with 2 here to be able to at least drive in something. And if you notice, the second baseman out there, Andrew Perez, standing out on the grass. He's anticipating anything over to the right side by O'Reilly, and O'Reilly waves and misses at strike number 3. Doesn't even attempt to run down over to first on the ball in the dirt. So that's 2 outs now. And Landon McDonald is going to be stepping up to the plate. McDonald 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, but the last time we called his name was because he had an outfield assist double play from right field, and they're going to put McDonald on. So a lot of respect right there. That just goes to show you got that base open. Might as well go after Brady Baird. And why is that? Well, you know, Brady came into this game struggling, got a base hit in the last at-bat that he had, but was thrown out at second. But not too sure if I'd want to necessarily do this if I was the Cerritos coach. So first pitch to Baird, taken inside for a strike. Yeah, Baird had come in after having a real hot start to the season. Has cooled off tremendously. Hadn't had a hit since that second game of the season. Finally got a scratch today. 0-1 pitch from Orr. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. So Coach Fernley might be proving me a little bit wrong in this situation. Walking McDonald with a base open. 2 outs. Baird on an 0-2 pitch. Or out of the windup, delivers. No swing on that. Checked. So brings the count to 1-2. So we'll see if Brady's going to have some 2-out magic here. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, and Caleb Orr is able to get out of the inning unscathed. Had a base hit, a walk, actually 2 walks with the intentional They leave the bases loaded and go to the fifth inning down 3-1 to Cerritos. And we'll be right back after this timeout.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Top of the fifth, we got a new pitcher for the Renegades. It's number 28, Jacob Baruman out of Highland High. Baruman, very effective so far this season, 2-0 coming into this game. He's got one win so far this season on 5 1/3 innings pitched. First pitch is a ball. Holding the opposing batters to a 188 opposing batting average, 169 ERA early in the season. Ball is popped up and foul straight back. Evens the count at 1-1. Baruman on 1-1 delivers. Ball outside. Little off-speed pitch there. Doesn't land. So we got a 2-1 pitch. Going to be coming to Wyatt Armandi. Armandi sends it into right field. High fly ball. Easy play out there for McDonald. One out. We're going to get Hudson Comer coming to the plate. Comer takes strike one. Comer walked in his last at-bat. And he gets hit by a pitch on that one. Didn't necessarily know if that got him, but it must have. So second time on base for Comer. Now you got Luke Crowder coming to the plate. Crowder struck out in his last at-bat. Was hit by a pitch in the second inning. Baruman delivers. Slider on the outside part of the plate. 1-0. Bruman, pickoff attempt over to O'Reilly. Comer is able to slide in under that. Takes a moderate lead over there at first. Bruman's pitch, down and away, 2-0. Got activity in both bullpens. He's got strike one. Brings the count to 2-1. Caleb Orr was getting up in pitches, has around 70 so far, but limiting the damage, really scattering some hits and walks. Able to get some good defensive help behind him as Bruman checks over again at first base. No tag attempt from O'Reilly. Bruman, curveball way outside, brings the count to 3-1. Crowder out of La Habra, played at Sonora High. Takes strike two, evens it, now it fills the count, I should say. Having a little trouble with the English language here on a Friday night. Again, fantastic weather so far all week. Had some fog early in the mornings, but overall beautiful week as we get ball four upstairs, and we're going to have 2 runners on, so not ideal whatsoever. In fact, that is the antithesis of what you want a reliever to come in and do, is put on the first 2 guys you see, or excuse me, the 2 of the first 3 guys you see. So with 1 out, second baseman Andrew Perez steps up to the plate. Baird over at third with his toes on the grass. Strike one on the inside part of the plate to Perez. You got the seems like the Perez brothers up there. Don't know if they are related. A 1 pitch. Ball hit into short center field. Brito was playing him exactly where he needed to play him, real short center field, and that's going to be out number 2 for Cerritos. And stepping up to the plate is going to be catcher Jose Perez. Perez banged the double into left center field in his last at-bat in the 4th inning to lead off, but he got thrown out at home by Landon McDonald on a fantastic throw. Bruman checks over to second, delivers a pitch down in the dirt. Got that curveball that he doesn't seem to necessarily have too much control over so far in this inning. 12 total pitches so far. The catcher for Cerritos waving the bat. Hits it right over to Martin. Martin's going to take it over to second and step on it for the 3rd out of the inning. So no runs, no hits, 2 runners left as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Renegades looking to try to get some offense going and cut into this lead. It is 3-1, Cerritos. Leading off the bottom of the fifth for the Renegades. In the fifth spot tonight for Coach Townsend is the DH, Jordan Mora. Mora 0 for 2 tonight with 2 strikeouts. Looking to try to right the ship here. And we got a new pitcher for Cerritos. Towing the rubber for the Falcons is Owen Waitis. Waitis delivered his first pitch for a strike, and a second way outside. Ball 1. 1-1's the count. Waitis out of Milliken High down in Long Beach. A lot of Milliken High School students. Got 4 on the roster here this evening. Curveball swung on, fouled off by Mora. We're going to get a 1-2 count. Umpire is going to run the next baseball out to the pitcher as that ball deflected off the inner part of the leg of catcher Andrew Perez. Perez okay. No correction, that's Jose Perez behind the plate. Andrew out at second. 1-2 pitch high. Brings the count to 2-2. Two-two pitch fouled off, out of play. We'll have another 2-2 count from Waitis. Another foul ball back into the net. Waitis coming into the game. 6 1/3 innings so far on the season, a 5.68 ERA and allowing a 3.75 opposing batting average. His next pitch is wide for ball 3. He loads up the count to Mora. Mora's just trying to get on base here somehow. 3-2 pitch. Another foul ball. This is going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat here to Mora. 3-2 pitch. Sent into right field, hit deep, but retreating is Wyatt Ormondi, number 9. And he catches it for out number 1. Brings up left fielder Luke Shaw. Shaw had a single in his last at-bat. Bunted out in the second inning, so he's 1 for 2. Shaw came in batting under 200. He's over that now as he takes ball 1 on the outside part of the plate. 1-0. Next pitch, swung on and missed. Fouled off into the catcher's glove. Nonetheless, 1-1. Waitis wastes no time, and rolling over on it is Shaw, and he grounds it out to Andrew Perez for the second out of the inning. Now we're going to have shortstop Santiago Blanco step into the dish for the Renegades. Blanco with a strikeout and a flyout. 0 for 2 so far today. Had an error that led to the first run of the game for Cerritos as he takes strike 1, but he's made up for it with a couple of great plays so far out there at the shortstop position. Second pitch fouled off. Little breaking pitch that Blanco probably wanted to have back right there in that situation. That was a hanging slider. 0-2 pitch from Waitis. Sent down over to third base. Comes up with it. A little wide throw, but it's fielded for out number 3, and that'll do it for the Renegades in the 5th inning. Perfect inning right there for Waitis as we're going to head to the 6th inning. 3-1 Cerritos. Leading off the top of the sixth for Cerritos as they have a 3-1 lead over the Renegades here in the sixth inning is number 2, Tyler Peschke. First pitch from Baruman, strike 1. Peschke 1 for 2 tonight. Takes ball 1 outside. Peschke also scored a run in the third inning. Baruman gets him to ground it over to Blanco. Blanco with a strong throw. But it's going to draw O'Reilly off the bag. Real strong throw right over there. But because Peschke was moving down the line, it did not allow O'Reilly to either get a tag on him or put his foot back on the bag. So that's going to be credited as a throwing error right there for Blanco. So second error of the game for the starting shortstop. And now we're going to have Brody Cuellar, the DH, coming up for Cerritos. Ball way outside for ball 1. Cuellar 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch in his last plate appearance. On 1-0, Baruman delivers. Ball 2. A lot of base runners out there for both teams, just not able to cash it in when it counts, as you got Baruman with a 2-0 pitch fouled back into the net. Peschke leading off first, moderate lead. Baruman gets his sign. Delivery way outside once again. Smith able to handle that. It's going to be a 3-0 count. Baruman visibly upset at himself for that pitch. So now, again, working on Cuellar. 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed for strike number 2. Fills up the count. Shortstop C.J. Berthan on deck for Cerritos. Nobody out here in the top of the sixth inning. Cerritos up 3-1. Runner goes, swung on. And now we've got ball 4 up. Didn't know if the field umpire called a balk, and that's what the home plate umpire was asking for. Nonetheless, no steal on that, just a walk. Now you're going to have C.J. Berthan up there with nobody out and 2 runners on. Not a good situation for young Baruman to be in up there. First pitch call for a strike. Baruman, again, the freshman out of Highland High. Had a good career for Coach Garza over there. Playing a tough league. Next pitch down in the dirt for ball 1. Again, they play in the same league as Bakersfield Christian, who's been perennial section champions over the last few years. Got Ridgeview, who's won a couple of state titles over the last 10 years. So you got ball high, 2-1. Independence out there under the direction of Coach Shelton, former Renegade. Just a real tough league out there. The Valley League. Got a 2-1 count for Baruman to Berthan. Ball fouled into the net behind home plate. We usually say it's the backstop. Not really a backstop here. It's more like a netting. And this is all new stuff here, Gio. This was not here when I played. I can tell you that. Neither are these bleachers. 2-2 count from Baruman. Nobody out. 2 runners on. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 from Baruman. Good job to be able to get that out right in that situation. Did not want him to really put that ball into play because usually that's going to at least advance some runners. But way to neutralize that threat right there in C.J. Berthan. First strikeout of the game for Baruman, and now you got Mateo Heredia coming up, the third baseman. So far, 1 for 2. That one hit a triple back in the second inning. He scored a run after that triple. First pitch on the way, and it's called strike 1. Now you got both runners going, and they stole that one really off of Baruman in that situation, and Smith had no opportunity to throw them out. So the double steal to get runners in scoring position with 1 out. And really now all Mateo has to do is get the ball into the outfield at least at moderate depth, although they may not be running on Landon McDonald out there in right, as Baruman's next pitch is called ball 2, 2-1. Again, we go back to the 4th inning, and Tyler Peschke is the guy that's out there. And the ball is sent over to McDonald. McDonald's going to give a chase, but it's going to get into the corner, and this is Triple's corner right over here. If Landon can come up with it, comes up with a good relay throw, but a 1-out, 2-run double right there for Heredia. And tell you what, he's the hero so far of the game for Cerritos. So Heredia really filling up this stat sheet so far today. Couple of hits, couple of RBIs, got a run scored. Now you got Wyatt Ormondi coming up, the right fielder. So far today. Oh for 2. Was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd inning. Been on base a couple of times. Got hit by that pitch like we had said, but also sharp hit to Blanco was misfielded. Swung on and missed. Evens the count at 1 apiece. Ormondi, another one of those guys out of Milliken High down in Long Beach. 1-1 pitch, curveball, driven out in the left field. Shaw gives chase. And he's going to be able to secure it for out number 2. With 2 outs and a runner on second, Hudson Comer's going to step to the plate. Comer 0 for 1 today. Couple of walks, fly the ball out to Landon McDonald in the 2nd inning. Curveball in the dirt, ball 1. Comer fouls off to that next pitch. It's 1-1 with a couple of outs here. Mateo Heredia standing on second after his 1-out, 2-run double. Baruman looks at Heredia, now delivers curveball, strike 2. So 1-2 count here to Comer. Pitch hit up the middle. It's going to be a run for Blanco. Blanco's able to come up with it. He's going to have to cover a lot of ground. He throws him out at home. Great play by Blanco. And again, in that situation, that run scores if Blanco is not able to lay out. Had no play at first. But Heredia was running on that no matter what. And he gets thrown out at home. Fantastic play by Santiago Blanco. May not necessarily be doing it at the plate, but doing it out on the field as we head to the bottom of the sixth. Renegades down 5-1. Bottom of the sixth inning. Leading off for the Renegades is going to be catcher Jason Smith. Smith got a base hit in his last at-bat. Was hit by a pitch in the second inning. So looking to get on base once again. Waitas in his second inning in relief. Gets first pitch called strike one on the inside part of the plate. Ball inside for ball number one, evens the count. Again, these two teams will do it once again here tomorrow at noon right here at Jerry Collins Field as we get ball two, sails outside on a slider. Big-time sports weekend here at Bakersfield College. Lady Renegades softball is going to have a doubleheader tomorrow as we get balls sent out into right center field. This is going to get down. Jason Smith is going to head to second. Nobody covering, and so that means he's going to be in with a head-first slide and a double. Jason Smith, I'll tell you what, he is the one real bright spot in the lineup so far today, 2 for 2. With a walk and gets a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Nick Martin stepping up to the plate. Bunt situation possibly here for Martin. He's got Heredia standing over at third. Not really playing close yet. Now he's going to creep up to the grass. First baseman playing way back as well, so if he wanted to drag something, he could possibly do that. But he doesn't. Strike one on the outside part of the plate. Nobody warming in the Cerritos bullpen, up 5-1. Waytos delivers, fouls it off into Haley Street. And that ball is going to bounce off onto the house with the Valentine's red lights hung up on it in the corner of Shattuck and Haley. 0-2 pitch here now to Martin. Martin rolls over on one, right back to the pitcher. Waytos fires it over to first and does not have an opportunity to advance the runner. Martin visibly upset at himself, and now we're going to have the top of the lineup come right back up as Jordan Brito is coming up. Brito has been on base all 3 times with 3 walks so far today. It's great for your on-base percentage there, Gio. Already coming in with a 679 on-base percentage. That's got to be over 700 now. First pitch, Brito fouls it off. But that's what you do at that leadoff spot. You play good defense. You're a threat to steal. And you get on base. Can't ask for more out of number 1 Jordan Brito. At a Ridgeview High. We were just talking about that Valley League. As he fouls off that second pitch, now we got 0-2 with 1 out. Jason Smith standing over at second after the leadoff double. Sent Hudson Comer all the way back to the warning track. Brito takes ball 1 on the outside part of the plate. And again, that's a hard pitch to take right there. 0-2, low slider. Caught a lot of that zone, but just dipped out right at the last minute. Brito sitting on that the whole time. So 1-2 pitch here from Waytos. Delivers outside, ball 2. Again, not only do, the Renegades are out here at noon, softball at 11:30 and 4. Swing and a miss for Brito, and he's finally retired today with 2 outs. Liam O'Reilly is going to step up to the plate. O'Reilly with the only RBI so far today for the Renegades. He picked that up in the second on a first pitch base hit to drive in Jason Smith, so maybe he can do this one more time. O'Reilly in there and swings and fouls off pitch number 1 from Waytos. Strike 2 swung on and missed by O'Reilly. Ball low for ball number 1, 1-2 with 2 outs. Smith still standing over there with that leadoff double. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3, and Waytos is able to get out of it after surrendering the leadoff double. 1 hit, 1 run left, no errors, and no runs scored. We head to the 7th inning. Renegades down 5-1 to Cerritos. right, top of the 7th, and if you hear La Chona here at Jerry Collins Field, that means number 11, Caleb Pinedo, is out on the mound for the Renegades. He's going to come in relief of Jacob Baruman as the Renegades are down 5-1 here in the top of the 7th inning.
And below on your screen is the QR code to donate to the KL Foundation. Once again, show proof that you donated to the KL Foundation tomorrow at the women's basketball game, and you get a free pom-pom.
Nice. Gotta love that. Not only getting some pom-poms, but you're doing a good thing as we get first pitch inside that hits Luke Crowder. Second time Crowder's been hit. And his name is kind of appropriate, Gio. His name is Crowder, and what's he doing to the plate? Crowding it. So now coming up to the plate, number 9 hitter Andrew Perez. Perez 1 for 3 so far today. Got that infield single on a check swing. Takes strike 1 from Pinedo. Now Pinedo looks in. Bunt. It's going to be down to Baird. Baird gets it over to O'Reilly. And Pinedo covers third just in case Crowder was going to try to take third. So with one out, turn the lineup back over to Jose Perez, the catcher. Last at bat. Drove a pitch over the head of Jordan Brito. Actually hit off the glove of Brito. It was counted as a double because Brito really had to reach for it. So 1 for 3 so far today for the catcher. First pitch, fouls it off, and it looks like this one is going to get foul. So 0-1 now to Perez. Pinedo delivers. Ball's going to get head off of Smith's glove, but he was able to corral it before Crowder was able to get down to third. Again, 5-1 here in the top of the 7th. Game 2 of a 3-game series here between the Renegades and the Falcons. Falcons took last night's game 8-2, so they're trying to win this series here tonight. Renegades are trying to even it up. So 0-1 pitch upcoming here from Pinedo to the catcher, Jose Perez. Perez waggling the bat. Pitch inside, misses, ball 1. 1-1. Excuse me, 2-1. Pinedo gives a look over to second, delivers, and that ball is driven deep. It's got a chance, and this one is gone. 2-run home run for Jose Perez. And I'll tell you what, Jose is taking his time circling these bases. But to the victors go the spoils, and I'll tell you what, Renegades find themselves down 6 runs like they were last night. Jose Perez, freshman out of Gar High, last year redshirted out of Long Beach State. You know what they call the Long Beach State baseball team, Gio? Well, they're known as the Beach, affectionately known as the Beach. Their baseball team, their nickname, is different from the rest of the teams there. They're called the 49ers, but they're called the Dirtbags, the baseball team. So anytime you see any baseball apparel that says Dirtbags on it, it's not somebody that's basically saying that they're a part of a real bad social club. That's just the baseball team down there at Long Beach State. 1-1 pitch here from Pinedo. Pinedo gives up another base hit. Diving attempt right there by Blanco to no avail. And so with one out, it's going to bring up Brody Cuellar. Cuellar so far tonight 0 for 2. Reached on an error and was hit by a pitch as well too. Excuse me, hit by a pitch and had a walk in his last at-bat. Apologize for that. Pinedo. First pitch is a ball. 1-0 now to Cuellar. So now Pinedo gets his sign. Now he's ready. Delivers on 1-0 and puts it into the dirt for ball number 2. Pinedo, the 5'7" sophomore out of Highland High, usually in a closer role that he inherited last year. 2-0 pitch way outside. Brings the count to 3-0. Starting to see a little bit of movement over there in the Renegades bullpen. Once again, they do have one more game tomorrow before they take a couple of more days off. 3-0 pitch way outside for ball number 4. Now we've got runners on first and second with one out. And C.J. Berthen coming up to the plate. Berthen 2 for 4 so far today. Berthen struck out in his last at-bat. And in the third and fourth, had a double and a single. Scored a run also today. Now you got the delivery from Pinedo. It was called strike one. Pinedo out there with that chain shining. You see it from up here. Berthen kind of waggling that bat a little bit like, we got another hit by a pitch here for the Renegades pitchers. Loads up the bases. What I was saying, he was waggling that bat just a little bit like Chris Taylor, where he's kind of breaking away those wrists a little bit, trying to keep the bat flat is usually what you're trying to do in that situation. So now coming up to the plate is Mateo Heredia. Heredia has a triple so far today and a double. So got some big hits, big slugging so far today from Cerritos as we get ball 1 to start the count. But Heredia was cut down last inning to end the inning on a great diving play by Santiago Blanco. Pinedo on 1-0. Swing and a miss from Heredia. Heredia's got 2 of the harder hits that you can get out of his cycle, so if he's able to get a base hit, he'll be a home run away. We don't want to see that, though, Gio. As much as we like seeing good baseball, we like it from our Renegades. Now we got ball 2 down 2-1. Pinedo's got no place to put Heredia, and that's a bad feeling as a pitcher here for a guy that's so far 2 for 3 today. Been on base 3 times today. Now we've got a timeout called. He's got a ball that got away as well, too, from the bullpen as the Renegades are trying to get ready in a hurry. Pinedo is struggling out there. Only so much hype you can get from La Chona. So 2-1 count with 1 out, bases loaded. 7-1 Cerritos here in the top of the 7th. And the pitch down in the dirt, blocked by Smith. And again, this is really a hitter's count if you've ever seen it. Guy that's 2 for 3 with a double and a triple. With bases loaded. Nowhere to be put. 3-1 pitch. Down, ball 4, and that walks in another run. So Heredia is going to have himself another RBI. Make that 3 so far today for Heredia. And you hear Smith all the way from up here encouraging his pitcher to kind of get things going. And we're going to have a meeting on the mound here. I think this is going to be a pitching substitution here. Coach Townsend's keeping his sophomore pitcher out on the mound until he can get relieved. And so we're going to take a quick time out here for the pitching change, and we'll be back after a quick break.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
All right, we are back here in the top of the 7th. Cerritos has put up 3 in this frame so far, and they've only got 1 out. We've got a new pitcher in the game for the Renegades. That is number 3, Zach Wargo. Wargo, the kid from the mountain up there on Lake Isabella, Kern Valley High, sophomore. Had 1 appearance so far this season for 2 innings, gave up a run. His first pitch, called ball 1, 1-0. Again, what you want, especially Coach Townsend, out of this at-bat is for him to be competitive, and that's exactly what he is right there. Nice fastball on the outside part of the plate. A little two-seamer run action out there. Definitely don't want to go out there and have a walk fest. Want to get out of here. Want to get at least our bats up to the plate and an opportunity to get back into this game as we get another swing and a miss here for Ormondi, the right fielder. Ormondi 0 for 3, has a walk. And he takes one right in the pocket on a 1-2 pitch from Wargo. And again, this is just where the pitching for the Renegades has really been, for lack of a better term, sloppy.
And it's creating a bigger deficit for the Renegades to try to climb out of as we enter the final innings.
It's one of those situations as a pitcher, you're trying to find a place to go hide sometimes, and there's no more lonelier place in baseball, or excuse me, in really any sport, than to be a pitcher out there on the mound down 9-1 with bases loaded and 1 out, and a team that's hungry up there.
I mentioned it yesterday. I mean, it doesn't show that they're a 1-4 team.
No, and Brito has the ball land right in front of him for another base hit and an RBI there, this time now for Hudson Comer. So Comer finally gets himself a base hit after being 0 for 2 with a walk and a hit batter. So Cerritos has put up 5 in this inning, and I'll tell you what, they were looking to get right after coming into this series 1-4. They've done nothing but put 18 runs up in 16 innings. Anytime you're getting more than a run an inning, it's a pretty good couple of games for you. First pitch was fouled off. Wargo delivers, pitch inside, ball 1. Second time to the plate so far today for this inning for Luke Comer. Comer was hit by a pitch, scored a run earlier in the inning. Ball gets away from Smith, but not far enough to get Heredia to score on that. Heredia goes back to third base. Two 2-1 pitch now from Wargo. He delivers. Fouled off back into the parking lot. It's going to bring it to 2-2. And because of this deficit, Gio, you're probably going to see some substitutions for both teams. We'll see if that happens. Andrew Perez waiting on deck for Cerritos. 2-2 pitch down in the dirt, saved by Smith. Now we're going to get a full count. 10th batter in this inning for Cerritos. Wargo delivers. Fouled off to the left side, and we'll do it again. Again, third game of this series between the Renegades and Cerritos tomorrow afternoon at noon. Lady Renegades are going to be on the softball field at 11:30 and 4:30. Pitch is high, and another walk, and another run scores on a walk. And I tell you, I don't envy a whole lot of these players, especially the pitchers, because there's going to be some running that's going to be happening after this series. So hopefully they don't eat way too much on Super Bowl Sunday, because on Monday's practice it's going to be a little bit brutal. So now you got Andrew Perez, the second baseman, stepping up to the plate. He takes strike one. Dropped a sacrifice bunt earlier in the inning to advance Crowder. 1 for 3 so far today, and he drives one out to Blanco. This is going to get over Blanco's head, who is playing him shallow. Perez is motoring around. He's going to stop at second with a RBI double, 2 RBI double, and the little guy is out there having a good time. Tell you what, he looks out in center field and said, "Do not disrespect me." Puts it over, and I said Blanco. It's over Brito's head. So 2 more runs score on a Perez double, and you're going to get the other Perez stepping up to the plate. And the last time he was up, he drove a pitch over the left field wall for a 2-run home run. But I don't know if Coach Fernley is going to give Perez the opportunity to follow up that home run. He's going to make a substitution here and get his catcher out of the game, get another opportunity for another player out there. We'll see. And that is what's going to happen. Number 39 is going to be substituting Alejandro Rosas, the sophomore at Bell High. Transfer from Long Beach. And I'll tell you what, that's a pretty big number to be able to have for Rosas behind the plate. He's a backup catcher. But number 39, one of the greatest catchers of all time, Roy Campanella for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Takes first pitch for a strike, 0-1. So we'll see if Rosas is going to stay in the game as catcher. Wargo pitches way outside, 1-1. So this inning has really gotten away from the Renegades. Eight runs in this inning alone. And the 12th batter sent to the plate. It's one of those innings that you're just going to want to throw away. And there is no mercy rule here in baseball. I know they got one in softball. Not here in baseball. Renegades just going to have to wear this one. Ball inside. It's going to bring the count to 3-1. Usually as a pitcher, you see a guy coming off the bench. You want to challenge that guy. He's been cold all game. Wargo on 3-1. Delivers. Ball high, and he puts Rosas on. Another walk in this inning. Four walks and a hit batter just in this inning. And that's enough for one game. We have that one inning. So now Peschke steps up to the plate. Peschke earlier in the inning had a single, scored a run. So far today, 2 for 4. 3 runs scored for Peschke. So this is a stat building day today. He drives one down the line. That's going to be fair. This one's going to find the corner, and you're probably going to see at least 2 runs score. Rosas is going to stop at third. 2-run double for Tyler Peschke, and you take your pick as to who the player of the game here really is for the Cerritos Falcons. It could really be anybody This is a 10-run inning for the Falcons. The 14th batter of the inning for Cerritos. And again, just like I had kind of predicted, we're going to have some substitutions here. Batting now in the 3 spot for Brody Cuellar is number 35, Isaac Ahakovi. Ahakovi out of Lolani High School was a transfer from Nichols State University. Takes ball outside. Oh, 1-0 pitch is fouled off, brings the count to 1-1. Third plate appearance of the season so far for Ahavoki. Oh for 1 with a walk so far this season. He takes curveball outside for ball 2, 2-1. And Renegades still just with 1 out. Have not had an out since the sacrifice bunt in the first at-bat of the inning for Andrew Perez. Perez has that 2-run double in his second at-bat of the inning as the ball is flied to Brito. Brito in medium center field is not going to give it a try, and Rosas is going to score from third. RBI sac fly for Ahavoki. But the Renegades have their second out of the inning. So at least there's that. And now you got C.J. Berthon. The shortstop for the Falcons. The runner on second and 2 outs. Wargo. Ball 1. 1-0 as his hat pops off. And that's what you're starting to see with some of these kids who have some long hair. Really good hair, and it's nice and soft, and it just kind of pops off with a violent delivery as you get ball 2 up and away. Again, this is one of those games where you just kind of throw it over your shoulder. They don't count for more than 1 loss. 16-1 Cerritos. Ball up and in to Berthon. It's going to bring the count to 3-0. Pitch hits him. Would have been ball 4 anyway. So it's the 5th walk of the inning for the Renegade pitchers. Now you've got Mateo Heredia coming up to the plate. Excuse me, not Heredia. Batting for Heredia is going to be Z Gutierrez. Gutierrez had a Long Beach Poly High. The Jackrabbits. He kind of looks like a jackrabbit out there. Looks like that guy can run. Wargo. First pitch, hat pops off, and the ball goes outside for ball 1. And as we sit up here, nice and warm, at least somewhat warm with sweater, jacket, this and that, I look over to our left and our assistant athletic director over here, Carly Flowers. She is the absolute example of female toughness over here. She's got a T-shirt on. She is she's unfazed. That's Carly Flowers. Thanks to her for all of her hard work she's done this year in her first year at Bakersfield College. As we got ball that gets away on a wild pitch, and both runners advance. So now we got a 3-0 count to Gutierrez from Wargo, and got some more pitchers warming up in the bullpen, and that's ball 4 to Gutierrez. And I can't believe I'm saying the fact that we've got, let's count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 walks just in this inning, and 2 hit batsmen. So we've put 8 runners on base just in this inning alone, and this is going to be the 17th batter sent to the plate for Cerritos.
It's not looking good for the Renegades.
No, it hasn't looked good for a little while now, Gio, to say the least.
It's the beginning of the season.
It is. And,
let this be that litmus test. Cerritos is proven to be a very decent offense and defensive team.
Yeah, they have had some good programs over the course of a few years. And, again, they get really good talent from around the Southern California area, specifically the South Bay. And, again, it's one of those days here where not everything's going well. Even in the warm-up pitches and warm-up tosses, Smith throwing it back to the new pitcher in the game for the Renegades, number 35, Wyatt Ash. And as he did, it sailed into center field. Ash out of Bakersfield High, the freshman. His coach, also another former Renegade, Mario Garza. Garza, a former Wasco Tiger. Wyatt Ash was all-league pitcher for BHS, second-team all-area as well. Good talent from Drillerland. All right, and now coming up to the plate for Cerritos. It's going to be number 8. We don't have a name for number 8 here. Find out if we have somebody down there. And this is actually number 9, Ricky Ahumada. Looks like it's actually number 9 on his back. Wyatt Ash doing a good job of throwing strikes out there. Comes in relief and gets a 1-2 count to Ahumada. I'll tell you what, no matter what happens after, if he gets an out right over here, you should. We're probably going to get some some good cheers, as the Renegades defense has probably been out on the field for about 35 minutes. And why do I say 35 minutes? Because I had looked at my clock before this inning started, and what did I say, Gio? I said, we might be out of here before 8 o'clock. And it was 7 on the dot, and Ahumada takes a ball. Could have been called a strike, but evens the count at 2 apiece.
Commentator's curse, Rob. Commentator's curse.
Yeah, it could be. So here we go. 2-2 pitch. Up and away. Ball 3. Wyatt loads up the count. No place to put Almada. Bases are loaded. At least the runner on our first and second will get a head start on this pitch. Ash's delivery is outside, and ball 3. 7th walk of the inning for the Renegades. And I tell you, I've been a part of baseball here for a while. And I've watched a lot of baseball here. And I don't think I've ever seen this number of walks in one inning. So now we're going to have another pinch hitter here for Cerritos. Is going to be number 30, Jacob Kernion. Kernion out of Gar High down in Cerritos, right in the shadows of Cerritos College. Eighteenth batter of the inning for the Falcons. We get a ball on the outside part of the plate called ball 1. This goes any longer, we may have to push back tomorrow's game. Kernion looks at ball 2, 2-0. Ball 3 now from Ash, and again, you said it's not looking good from a baseball player's perspective, former coach, former Renegade here. I can tell you it's ugly. Strike 1 on the outside part of the plate for Ash. And again, if I'm Wyatt Ash, my thing is as a pitcher, I'm thinking if I just get this ball in somewhere, you know, he's probably got a 1 in 3 chance that he's going to get a hit, but a 2 in 3 chance that he's not, and he hits him in the back. 10 base runners have been put on either by walk or by a hit batter, and another RBI on a walk or a hit batter. And again, normally I go try to have a word with Coach Townsend after the game, just kind of see how things are going. I'm probably not going to have that talk with him after the game. 19th batter of the inning going to be coming up for Cerritos. Now we've got another new batter coming up to the plate for Cerritos. Going to get his number here in just a second. Looks like that's number 6, Adam Smith. Not the father of modern economics, Adam Smith. Strike 1. 1-1. The third time that this spot in the lineup has been up so far in this inning. The last 2 times it was Luke Crowder. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. And how about this? We're a pitch away from getting out of this inning, Gio. Here we go. Ash gets his sign. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, and the Renegades get out of the inning, but not before giving up 13 runs in that inning. 19 batters sent to the plate for Cerritos. We're going to come back with some action. There's going to be a little bit of a delay here of action after this 7th inning stretch. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. Big lead for Cerritos.
Hi, Bakersfield. I'm Alexia Ramirez, and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Welcome back, everyone. Here in the bottom of the 7th, Landon McDonald just hit a single to center field as the Cerritos Falcons lead the game 18-1. Strike one to Brady, who is at bat. Hit by pitch brings Brady on. Advances McDonald to second with no outs. Here in the bottom of the 7th. Luke Camps now up to bat. Luke Camps looking to bat. Pinch hitter for Bakersfield. 2 on, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the 7th. Grounder to the shortstop. Makes the play at third and gets the first out of the inning. Now batting for Bakersfield is Gage Ursery. 2 on, 1 out. Gage Ursery up to bat in the bottom of the 7th. Takes strike one. Ball outside. 1-1 to count. Strike two to Gage Ursery. 1-2 to count. 2 on, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 7th. And a strikeout on Gage Ursery, second out of the inning here in the bottom of the 7th.
Thanks for manning that, Gio. After that long inning, had to go take a quick break there. Good to see Gage Ursery getting an at-bat in that situation, even though it was a strikeout. His dad, Kyle, former assistant coach here for Coach Payton. So McDonald led off the inning with a single. Baird standing at first after being hit by a pitch. Now we've got number 15 up there for the Renegades, Santiago Blanco. Blanco 0 for 3 today. So 3-2 count with 2 outs. So runners are going to get in advance here. Sorry for the little bit of the delay here. Trying to make sure we get our bearings right and get everything set up here at the top of Jerry College Field. 3-2 pitch, 2 outs. And called strike 3 on Santiago Blanco looking. And the Renegades are going to leave 2 on after 1 hit. No errors. We go to the top of the 8th. Cerritos up about 12.5 to 1.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Welcome back to live coverage of Bakersfield College Renegades baseball right here at Jerry College Field. Rob Chavez alongside Gio Generalao. Got Melly and Jamie up here as well, too, bringing you coverage of an ugly game here for the Renegades, to say the least, as we get ball hit over to Liam O'Reilly. Wyatt Ash is going to hustle over and get the first out of the inning and retire number 18, Luke Crowder.
We do have a new player in right field for tonight for the Renegades, Grant Reynolds. Just want to say hi because he's the son of my former boss, Jason Reynolds.
Well, how about that?
So if you're watching, Jason and fam, hello.
Hopefully either they're watching it live or they're going to see it on the replay. The ball thrown to the backstop by Wyatt Ash for ball number 2. Had a chance to at least see Brady Baird's dad, Clint, down there. Clint, longtime youth coach here in Bakersfield. Had his 2 iterations of the Kern County Roughnecks. He coached 2 of my nephews, Dominic and Luke Plaza. Ball inside, 3-0 to Alejandro Rosas. Rosas at a Bell High School takes strike 1. Was at Long Beach City College before this and transferred over to Cerritos. And he gets hit, and much of the same in this inning as we had a lot last inning. 4 hit batters alone. And again, usually you won't see that in an entire series. So we got now number 5 pinch hitting, or maybe even a substitution for Peschke. Peschke had a heck of a game today. Peschke, before he was subbed out, 3 for 5 today. Double, a couple of singles. Had a stolen base. I mean, this guy put up all kinds of stats out there. 4 runs scored. He's got a ball up, 1-0. This is number 5, Jonathan Long. Long out of Fountain Valley High, the Inland Empire. He swings and misses at strike 1. And strike 2, 1-2 count. Now we got ball away, and Rosas is going to take second on that wild pitch. Wide Ash, 2-2, delivers, ball 3, fills the count. And now I've got ball 4 to the pinch hitter, Long. And I tell you, from a coach's standpoint, Gio, not only am I feeling bad if I'm one of the pitchers here, but if I'm the pitching coach, I've got to think, okay, what am I doing and what do I need to change? So you got ball 1 low to Ahavoki. Ahavoki had a sacrifice fly to center field for the second out of the inning last inning. Takes ball 2 down and away, 2-0. Ahavoki out of Lolani High School in Hawaii. Takes ball 3 inside, 3-0. Three-0 count. Ash sends ball forward, low, loads up the bases once again for Cerritos. Of course, I told one of our, you said our scorekeeper downstairs, one of the redshirt players, he said, Aldo. I told Aldo, I said, you guys probably don't even want to bring cleats to practice on Monday. Probably going to be a lot of running. So, and again, I know the feeling. Well, we had our set of turf shoes and our set of cleats, and we also had some running shoes as pitchers. Yeah, you're going to run in your turf shoes out here because that's what you're going to do. But we used to have to run around the entire campus. Yeah, as part of our conditioning. So we don't know exactly how many foul poles or how many hard 90s they're going to be running or possibly distance running, but I can tell you they're going to want to wash this one out.
Or you could be like Coach Markey, the men's wrestling team.
Absolutely.
They run the stairs of the stadium.
Yes, they do. And we had to do that as well, too. There's some stairs not only in Memorial Stadium. We've got stairs out here in these bleachers over here. They all work pretty much the same. And, again, before we had these really old bleachers that were out here with the wood backs and everything. And, we've ran those. One's in Memorial Stadium, behind Memorial Stadium as well, too. So we've got now a new pitcher for the Renegades. Relieving Ash is Brody Weedle. Weedle out of Liberty High. Family out of Wasco High, though. We were just talking about Mario Garza, former Renegade, current Bakersfield High driller coach. He's married into the Weedle family. Or at least, I'm sorry, his sister married in the Weedle family, I should say. So now coming up to the plate is C.J. Berthon. Berthon, the only remaining hitter in the lineup that has played all game for Cerritos. This is his 7th plate appearance so far today. Berthon takes ball 1 outside. Berthon 2 for 4 today. Has 3 runs scored. He was hit by a pitch. Also had a walk in his last 2 at bats, both in the 7th inning. Just a rough inning overall for Renegades pitching, as we got ball 2, 2-0. Weedle asking for a new baseball. Again, we got to thank everybody who's still watching this game as well, too, down 18-1. It's good to see Luke Camps get in there, get an at-bat, as well as Ursery as we get 2-0. Pitch gets a piece of Berthon. So Berthon, 3 straight plate appearances, is going to find his way on base and also pick up an RBI in the process. So everybody moves up 90 feet. Rosas comes in to score. And now we're going to have Z Gutierrez coming up. And again, that's Z as Z-E-E. I'm not just reading his name as a one-letter acronym, Z. All the runners hold. And, usually in high school, you don't see that, when you're up big, anything over like 10 runs or something like that, you usually tell your runners you're not running on anything. You don't want to kind of rub it in. But this is college now. These are men playing. And, it's not necessarily running up the score, but at the same time, you're in college. You make these mistakes, and you're going to have to, suffer the consequences. We got ball 2 outside, 2-0. And that's one of the main differences that you see. And a lot of these guys here, too, playing for the Renegades, they play for some really highly competitive teams in high school, possibly even club ball, and they've been around. And they're usually used to being the ones on the other side of the ledger, up big. So this sometimes is unfamiliar territory for a lot of these players, kind of like the welcome to college moment. And this is one of them. 2-1 pitch here from Weedle. He delivers. Strike 2 on the outside corner of the plate. And I tell you, Renegades have tried to get on the inside part of the plate today. Been hitting a lot of guys, but at the same time, been getting those calls on the outside part of the plate as well, too. 2-2 with 1 out. Weedle gets a swing and a miss. Strike 3 for Weedle. So 2 outs now for the Renegades. And that's going to bring up Ricky Almada. Almada got hit by a pitch. He got an RBI for his efforts. Weedle gets right back in there and fires another strike to Almada. Almada took over for Wyatt Ramondi out in right field. And again, another hit batter. And I tell you what, now at this point too, if I'm Smith behind the plate, I got to also question how far these guys are leaning kind of over the plate as well too, because that was hit right on that guard. And I don't know. Either way, the one positive that you can see out of these pitchers is the fact that they're at least not shying away from the game plan. They do want to be able to pitch inside. Ball 1 upstairs, 1-0. 8th batter of the inning so far for Cerritos. Again, tomorrow they're going to look back at the score and think, okay, is this a typo? Did they add a 0 to the score? Foul ball for Kernion. Kernian walked in his last plate appearance. Ball 2 from Weedle. Two and one pitch from Weedle, driven foul towards the right side. Kernian was standing on first base at the end of the 7th inning. And we get a strike 3 looking right there from Weedle and gets the Renegades out of the inning. But the Cerritos Falcons put 2 up on the scoreboard in the 8th frame. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 8th. Renegades down big, but we'll be right back after this break.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Leading off the bottom of the 8th for the Renegades is the bright spot in the lineup so far tonight for the Renegades offense, catcher Jason Smith. Smith takes strike 1. Smith so far tonight 2 for 2. Was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning and scored on a Liam O'Reilly single. And that's been the only run scored so far today as Smith swings and misses at strike 2. Waitas, strike 3, looking on the outside corner. They finally retire Jason Smith for the first time today. Now Nick Martin stepping to the plate. Nick 0 for 2 was also hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning, was stranded at third base at the end of that inning. Martin swings and misses a little late on that fastball by Waitas. Oh, 0-2 pitch from Waitas taken outside for ball 1. Renegades are going to get right back out to it tomorrow at noon. Waitas with a swing and a miss. Loose ball at the plate, and Rosas throws Martin out at first after he collects it. Out number 2 for the Renegades, and now striding to the plate will be a substitution here. Number 31, Elijah Legan, freshman out of Highland High. A lot of guys out of Highland affectionately call him Eli. Eli had a pretty good season last year for the Scots. Fouls the first pitch off into the parking lot. Second at-bat of the season for Ligon. He looks at strike 2 on the outside corner. Little off-speed pitch. Oh and 2 from Waitos with 2 outs. The pitch. Outside, called, strike 3. And that'll do it for the 8th inning. No runs, no hits. None left on as Waitos strikes out the side. We're going to the 9th inning. Renegades down big.
Welcome back, everyone. Here in the top of the 9th, Cerritos leads 20-1. Tomorrow we do have a big day of sports here on campus at Bakersfield College. So once again, come check out our games. They are free for the rest of the spring semester. And tomorrow the women's basketball have their Play 4K event starting at 5 p.m. inside the new Renegade Athletic Complex to support the K Yao Foundation. QR code on the screen now. Feel free to donate. Show proof that you donated at the women's basketball game and you'll get free pom-poms. Certain tiers will get a free shirt, all while supplies last. Back to you, Rob.
A fantastic job about promoting that. Make sure you make your contributions. We got 1-1 count and new pitcher, number 21, Race Woodruff out of Stockdale High, freshman for Coach Townsend as he gets a swing and a miss, strike 2. And again, in a game like this, I'd never been beaten like this at the college level, Gio, but there have been some crooked numbers, crooked letters up there and stuff, and got beat big. And that was opportunities for guys to get in there and show, the coach that, hey, look, I could be that guy. And, it took a few games for me, even in my redshirt freshman year, to finally get the confidence of Coach Payton to be like, all right, hey, get in there, do your things. We get a foul ball off to the right side. Nobody in that area. Finds some grass, but doesn't go out into the parking lot, which is good. So we're going to have a 2-2 count here with nobody out in the top of the 9th inning. But as I was saying, yeah, you get in there and you fire it off. You look to be efficient. As we get a strike 3 by Woodruff, way to come in there and start throwing some strikes. Renegades are going to throw it around. They had to ask over at the dugout first to see if they want to do that, being down big. So Patterson's going to come up to the plate. Patterson batted in the 8th inning, grounded out to O'Reilly with Wargo covering as we get strike one. And tell you what, I like what Woodruff's doing. He gets up there, is pretty efficient. Got rid of Smith in 4 pitches. Now on pitch number 6, gets strike number 2 to Patterson. So this is a way for you to find a few more innings throughout the season. Another former Renegade, Justin Roberts, the head coach for Stockdale, former coach of Coach Woodruff. So after the foul ball, we're going to have another 0-2 count. So we got called strike 3 and 2 straight strikeouts for Race Woodruff. Whether they're against backup players or not, doesn't matter. They're at the college level, and that's a good job right there for Woodruff. So now coming up to the plate, we got a new batter, number 37. This is going to be Smith coming up. Another Smith, number 37. Thierry Smith out of Los Alamitos High. Another South Bay. Another South Bay resident. I'm saying Los Alamitos, right kind of on the border right there down by Long Beach, right where LA County meets Orange County. Surf City, Huntington Beach, all that. So 1-1 count from Woodruff, called strike 2 on the outside corner. So here we go. Woodruff, 1-2 count, has a chance to strike out the side, and he does. Called strike 3 for Race Woodruff. And I'll tell you what, between him and Jason Smith going 2 for 4 today, those are the bright spots that you look at. And again, in a game like this, you look back and you don't think that there are too many bright spots, but that's one of them right there. Fantastic job by the Stockdale Mustangs. So we're going to go to the bottom of the 9th. We're going to take a quick timeout and see about finishing this game with the Renegades putting up some runs here. We'll be right back.
Hi Bakersfield, I'm Alexia Ramirez and I play for the women's basketball team here at Bakersfield College. This Saturday, we're hosting our Play for K game to help support and raise money for all women's cancers. You can help by donating in the link below or at the door. Hope to see you guys here this Saturday. Go Gades!
Bottom of the 9th for the Renegades. And now we've got a new batter coming to the plate for the Renegades. It's going to be Jackson Barlament. Barlament out of Skyline High School in Sammamish, Washington. Try saying that with something in your mouth, like some food or something. Something's going to spill out. Sammamish, Washington. Barlament takes strike one. Weight toss. Second pitcher of the game, and that's all they've needed so far against the Renegades is to get slider in for strike two. They started out with Orr, came back with Weightoss, and Weightoss is in his fifth inning and called strike three on Barlament. And that's going to do it for him. 3 pitches and another backwards K. Renegades, 15 strikeouts at the plate. And here's your guy Reynolds coming up to the plate. Reynolds fouls it off to the right. Reynolds come in for Landon McDonald. Landon got himself a base hit today. Extends his hit streak to 7 games. Slider on the outside part of the plate for strike number 2. 0-2 to Reynolds. Reynolds at a Frontier high. Swings. Ball fouled off. That catches number 35, Isaac Ahavoki. Oh, 0-2 pitch to Reynolds from Weightoss. Called strike 3 on the outside corner for a slider. 5 strikeouts in a row for the Renegades here over the last couple of innings. And now Brady Baird is going to come up and try to keep this game going. They're down to their last out. One-on-one pitch after the foul ball from Baird. Weightoss delivers. Strike on the outside part of the plate. Baird doesn't really agree with that. Baird looks at ball 2, and now we've got a 2-2 pitch. Deuce is wild now for the, 7th time out here today. So we get another curveball on the outside part of the plate. Does not catch that outside corner. So it fills the count, 3-2, 2 outs to Brady Baird. Weightoss delivers, strike 3, and that'll do it. They strike again. Weightoss strikes out the side to end the game. Actually struck out the last 6 batters to end the game, and the Renegades are going to throw this one over their shoulder, get right back out to it at 12 o'clock tomorrow. Again, we will not be on the live stream. Well, we may be at least streaming it. It'll be on the camera, but it won't be broadcasted. I will be on the PA, so you might hear me in the background doing the PA, so we'll see.
Yeah. For more information, be sure to tune to our Instagram account at the handle GoGatesGo. But for the most part, to my knowledge, Rob, we'll be live streaming the softball game tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. And then we'll be covering the basketball games later that afternoon, starting at 3 p.m. for the men's game. And then the the Play for K event supporting the K Yao Foundation for the women's basketball team at 5 p.m. So come on down. Check us out. Again, free admission for all of our sports here at BC until the end of the semester.
Yeah, thanks for reminding us on that. Women's wrestling is down in Cerritos. They're going to be down there tomorrow starting at 9 a.m. Men's swimming down in Long Beach at 10 a.m. Softball is taking on Ventura in a doubleheader. Basically, you're going to be playing kind of that 3-game set where Ventura is going to be playing BC to start off. Then they're going to play Riverside, and then Riverside is going to stick around and play BC at 4:30. So, again, we'll have a live stream for that. Basketball is going to start off at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Men are going to tip off at 3, and then, the Play for K event starting at 5 o'clock. So we are going to get out of here. It was a long game, a long 7th inning, I can tell you that.
Pleasure to be on the call with you, Rob, again.
It's always good to be on the call, and looking forward to some more games later on this season. The Renegades dropped to 4-3, and they're looking to get back in the win column tomorrow and try to salvage at least one game of the 3-game series tomorrow at noon. So we will see you not until after I get done catching some fish out at the Riverwalk for the trout derby that they've got going on out there. So
good luck with that. Good luck.
Yeah, it'll be fun, and we're gonna have a good time. And then father-daughter dance with my daughter Paulina. It's gonna be our 14th year in a row. Been taking her since she was 4 years old, and now she's 17, and so we'll be going out to that later on. And then, of course, Super Bowl Sunday. Who do you got, Gio?
I got Seahawks winning over the Patriots.
Seahawks over the Patriots.
21-7.
21-7. Low scoring, huh?
Yeah.
You're really, for that Legion of Boom defense 2.0, you're really okay. I said earlier today, I'm going to say it's going to be a funky score. It'll be something like 29-17. Seahawks take it.
All right.
Yeah. So, for Gio General, for Melly, for Jamie up here manning our cameras, they've done a fantastic job. Again, thanks to Ayana Tweedy, Carly Flowers, and Alicia Kroonquist for getting us here today to broadcast this. Wish we could have had a better game for the Renegades, but nonetheless, long season to go, and there'll be more opportunities for the Renegades to show what they've got. Come on out to tomorrow's game at 12 o'clock. Hope to see you there. Good night, everybody. God bless you.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
Bakersfield College Athletics thanks you for watching this broadcast. For more BC Athletics sports videos, highlights, and replays, subscribe to Bakersfield College Athletics on YouTube. And for news, live broadcasts, and schedule information across all our sports, visit GoGades.com. Bakersfield College Athletics thanks you for watching this broadcast. For more BC Athletics sports videos, highlights, and replays, subscribe to Bakersfield College Athletics on YouTube. And for news, live broadcasts, and schedule information across all our sports, visit GoGades.com. Bakersfield College Athletics thanks you for watching this broadcast. For more BC Athletics sports videos, highlights, and replays, subscribe to Bakersfield College Athletics on YouTube. And for news, live broadcasts, and schedule information across all our sports, visit GoGades.com. Bakersfield College Athletics thanks you for watching this broadcast. For more BC Athletics sports videos, highlights, and replays, subscribe to Bakersfield College Athletics on YouTube. And for news, live broadcasts, and schedule information across all our sports, visit GoGades.com. Bakersfield College Athletics thanks you for watching this broadcast. For more BC Athletics sports videos, highlights, and replays, subscribe to Bakersfield College Athletics on YouTube. And for news, live broadcasts, and schedule information across all our sports, visit GoGades.com. Bakersfield College Athletics thanks you for watching this broadcast. For more BC Athletics sports videos, highlights, and replays, subscribe to Bakersfield College Athletics on YouTube. And for news, live broadcasts, and schedule information across all our sports, visit GoGades.com.